Hello, everybody. My name is Christian Slider, and welcome back to That's the Flavor. Man, that was more of a subdued intro, but it's okay. We're gonna go with it, hanging out here on a Sunday, having a good time. Welcome back to episode 17 of the show, or I guess welcome to episode 17. You know, it gets a little weird, gets a little kind of crazy. This week I am joined by everybody's favorite. You know him, you love him, Ozzy. Welcome back to That's the Flavor. How you doing?
I don't know about that, but we're doing, living life to the fullest. It's a little rainy today, but still trying to be
Yeah.
great.
It's very much a subdued recording day. And then we are joined by a new guest to the show. You don't know him, you might not love him, but Suede, welcome to the show.
You might not love him. Oh, you're not gonna love him. I'll make sure of that.
Oh, Jesus. But Suede, welcome. How does it feel to be in your first That's the Flavor experience?
Oh, my first That's the Flavor. I'm feeling pumped. Never been on a podcast, first time, so I'm excited.
Yeah, don't mess it up. To be fair, just yesterday you were calling it "What's the Flavor?" So I kind of have a little bit of a grudge.
But I gave you a new merch idea, so
yeah, that's true. That's true. We can't tell the audience that. Calm down. You can't just be telling them I have merch ideas. Jeez. God,
pineapple. That's the flavor.
Ozzy, you be silent. You go back in your corner. You wait till you're called on. But for those of you guys that don't know, which is probably the whole audience, Suede is a friend of mine from college, and you guys know Ozzy. I'm not gonna tell you where I know Ozzy. You guys know him.
the underground.
But I ask every new guest when they come on the show, Suede, what is your go-to Christian Slider memory? Like, if you had to be like, yeah, this is my friend Christian, like, what memory do you attach to that?
Oh dear. Probably it would have to be not one single time, but any time anything Shakespeare is mentioned. You are the first person I think of. I immediately look to you, and you're just giddy with excitement, bouncing around in your seat, ready to go.
You know what? I respect that. And also, I also respect the fact that you said, oh dear, when I asked you, because you were like now the fourth person to say that after I go, yeah, man, what's your go-to memory? And everybody goes, oh dear. And I'm like, is that an oh dear because I'm just like that bad of a person? Or is that an oh dear because I put you on the spot?
You're forming a pattern.
And Ozzy, just for fun, even though, I've asked you your second go-to memory, what is your third?
Oh, balls.
Yeah. Have fun remembering what your first two were.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to think. I don't know if I remember them. I think I definitely mentioned the jumping into a trash can / recycling bin, and I did say the time when you walked out of the library with a fake gun. Remember that?
Man, why didn't you say fake gun the first time?
Don't worry, I covered my bases. I got it eventually.
FBI, please leave me alone.
Don't clip that.
Yeah, no one clip. Nope. That's definitely an audio clip not going
off the record.
I
heard. I guess I gotta go with the staple of I guess trademark Christian and Ozzy mess arounds. Is whenever we were driving to pick up a friend to go see a show, and then we almost hit a mailbox as I screamed, "Let's do some Dukes of Hazzard shit." And now it's kind of just a thing. Whenever we get in the car together, we just say, "Let's do some Dukes of Hazzard shit."
See, my favorite part about that drive was the trying to pass the guy on the side of the road, and then you going, "Oh yeah, we can do it, we can make it," and then going halfway through and realizing, "Oh man, there definitely wasn't enough room to pass that guy." Yep. So we just sat there awkwardly and waited until that guy finally made his left turn.
Yeah, never forget.
Man, that's a good like third tier memory. Like I'll take that. And honestly, write those down because there's a chance that like a couple weeks from now I could ask you what your fourth favorite memory is. Until we just go down to like.
It's just ultimately going to be every memory I have of you is just going to be set on this. So I'm gonna have to like bust out a list, and anytime you ask me, I'm just gonna be like, hold on everybody, and I'm gonna pull it up on my phone real quick, and then I'll be like, all right, so 6, this is it.
Well, yeah, here's the thing. You secretly don't know. I think you're kind of catching on. I'm using this to rank, our friendship. I'm using this to secretly rank your feelings on our friendship.
Well, that's not off to a good start because of the first one.
But on that note, I want to also remind you guys, audience, that this episode is brought to you by Anchor, but we'll talk more about that later. Sometimes I keep forgetting to preface the episodes and that, and the ad just shows that I'm like, oh, audience, I'm sorry, no. But that way you guys know there is an ad, and it will pop up at some point in this video. Or not video, podcast. God, I hate everything. I'm so tired. This is definitely a scuffed recording. But so Ozzy, Suede, I had you guys on because I want to talk about a little event we did called Halloweekend. And again, we won't say where it was. We'll vaguely talk about it, of course. But we did this little event where we dressed up as some historical ghosts and walked around town. And it was a good time. At least I think it was. And I don't know, I kind of wanted to kind of talk about it a little bit, especially because doing an event like what we did in the current world and stuff. I don't know. Just wanted to kind of chat about it a little bit. Get your guys' thoughts and how you guys enjoyed the experience. Maybe tell some stories.
Would you like to begin, Suede, or?
I was about to start making cricket noises.
I was gonna take a drink.
Dickie.
I will say that kind of event was probably one of the most nerve-wracking things for me, being out in public with just tons of people on the street. That's like my kryptonite. I'm not a big person fan, but
I'm not
a fan of person. But being in costume, being in that character, working with you and the other actors, God, it was so much fun. I couldn't even think of how nervous I was.
Yeah. No, definitely. I think I was so nervous. No, normally I don't get nervous for performance stuff, but I think I was nervous because it was like, oh man, these people, if they look close enough, can see right through my facade. I'm a fake. I'm a fraud. And plus, not having done anything for however long. I think for a little bit of context, so what the event was, audience, flavorites, I don't know, I need recycling bins, whatever I feel like calling
Carnival fishes.
Carnival fishes. That's right. You're all carnival fishes to me.
Yeah.
But I feel like the context here. So there was a group of, I think, let's do the math.
Oh, excuse me.
Let's do the math. Sorry, I had to pause because I'm really bad at math. And even though it was simple, there was 3, 2
plus 2 plus 2.
3. No. Oh yeah. Well,
6.5.
What's 4 plus 3?
7. Okay, we're good. No, because I kept trying to include the person that didn't end up being there.
Right, yeah.
In my head. So 7. There were 7 of us. And all these different groups of historical figures. So one group was a group of 1900 suffragettes. Another group was Alexander Hamilton and George Washington. And then I feel like we were probably the most obscure group of ghosts that you could have chosen.
Oh yeah, I think we
were the group that was very specific to that area.
Oh yeah. Which we were the president of a college and then 2 college students. And again, I would say what college, but I don't want to get hunted down, and I want to help you guys zero in on my location. That's not
college university.
Yeah, college university.
Yeah.
And so we were probably the most obscure group, but I still and then we basically just walked around the downtown of said town, blank insert town name there, and just kind of were ghosts hanging out, having a good time. I think the only thing that made it feel a little bit weird on my end was the fact that it was 2 weeks away from Halloween when we did it. But overall, that's just kind of what we did, and we entertained people walking around downtown. For a little bit of added context, if you were curious, because we're just kind of talking about it.
Well, honestly, now that you speak on the weather, I think it's actually kind of a blessing that we did it 2 weeks ago, because this past weekend has been extremely wet. And it would not have been fun to be walking.
1,000%.
Also, all of our makeup would have just gone. And
I mean, the masks were bad enough. Imagine masks plus rain.
Yeah. And that was one of the weirdest things was being masked for it. Which I mean, mind you, let's pause. I approve of masks. Everybody should wear a mask when they go outside. What I'm saying is performing with a mask on. was definitely weird. Because we're all three of us are actors, and so it's like that thing of, oh man, there's something blocking half of my face, which I use to emote and convey to an audience. Like, how do I use that now? How do I work around that? And so that was the weird thing about it, and like that's what kind of sucked.
Pardon me, you finish, Christian. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think I was like, we were all really worried about it, just because it's such like it's kind of like a slap in the face in a way for an actor, just because that's one of our tools, like you said, was kind of gone. But even though that was there, I have to say, I think some of the funniest bits came out of it, because we had to work it into our character. And since we were ghosts, we've been dead for quite some time. And we were like in the 1800s was our time period. So we were for the polio. We were wearing our masks for polio. And then the suffragettes were for the Spanish flu. And then people were talking about COVID. So then that was a lot of fun to like kind of put it all two and two. I think COVID was a comet at one point, and the flu and polio together was COVID. I don't know, but there's some fun things that came out of it.
Yeah, no, totally. Like the Spanish flu was caused by the big like felt spiders that were hanging off of things, like
developed by the spans.
The spans. Oh, there were some great things that definitely happened. I think that whole being like that's just it, being able to cluelessly play off stuff was great, and so definitely helped us in the end. I think more than it actually hurt us, because people would be like, "Oh, you're wearing your mask because of COVID," and it's like, "What? No, we're wearing it because of polio. We can't believe they haven't like fixed polio yet." Like, God, could you imagine? Because like polio sucks.
Yeah, polio.
Speaking of polio, the most recent thing I was in, the part at the beginning I read made the comment about the masks and decided to go with polio, but it was based in 1947. I just started thinking, I was like, did we pick the wrong disease?
Yeah, wait. So like, wait. When was polio around? Because which one of us is wrong? Hang on.
I don't know.
Google polio.
Yeah.
Okay, that's just no polio epidemic. Probably need to add that word.
Polio free since '79.
When's the polio vaccine?
Yeah, polio outbreak of 1955.
Well,
So I think for Halloweekend we might have been off by 100 years.
Yeah, the vaccine wasn't created until 2000.
Ah, crap. 1894 was the first outbreak.
Well, we were 1890.
Close enough.
So Swain and I were a part of this same show that like literally just finished yesterday, and yeah, I sat there at the whiteboard thinking the same thing, going, wait a minute, wait a minute, something's not right here, and I think it might have happened. I think the problem might have been 2 weeks ago. But yeah, so like first off, I guess we need to like do our polio research better for next time if there is a next time. But yeah, I think
we needed a dramaturg.
Yeah, we definitely needed a dramaturg. I think one of the other great things that came out of that. So again, we're kind of just spitballing, talking stories here, but learning the fist bump.
Yeah.
Yes, because some random stranger taught George Washington and Alexander Hamilton a fist bump, and of course we walked into them, and then George Washington and Alexander Hamilton taught us a fist bump. And so then we were walking around just like preemptively, cautiously fist bumping like the entire night when we saw each other. So I don't know, it was definitely a weird experience because I got to fist bump George Washington. And that's what I can tell people. And they can be like, what? That's not possible. And I'll be like, but it happened. And then of course explain it. And they're like, oh, well, Christian, you're less interesting than I thought. And I'm like, yeah, I thought you already knew that. But that was definitely another fun thing from that as well.
I agree.
Thank you.
Silence.
I don't know. Definitely, like, what is your guys' angle on performing during the pandemic? Like, I don't know, like during an actual like pandemic, and like finally being able to do like an in-person thing. Like I don't know, because I definitely have thoughts on it, of course, but I'm curious where you guys land on it.
Performing during the pandemic. Well, obviously, as anyone would be able to guess, it sucks. It's a huge downgrade from being able to perform without a pandemic. Gotta have the mask, can't be too close. We have to act through computers like we did with the most recent play. It's just, it's so, what's the word? I want to say depressing. Like it's just really depressing to have to work like this.
Yeah, and of course, as I always say when we talk about these things, yes, everybody here acknowledges and knows the world is like on fire right now, and that like we are just kind of complaining about like things that are definitely smaller in scale. So like before anybody comes at us, like we all know that we're just kind of talking about things we're experiencing as well. You know, I definitely agree, and I think that that's what kind of made this Halloweekend event we did like so kind of like so strange, because everybody is doing these like Zoom shows and things are online and through computers or just whatever, and like here we are doing this thing in person, but like it's still not like fully like an in-person thing, and like the questions had to be asked of like by the people that I know, like we were telling about it, Swade, like our like some of our professors and stuff, and it was like, oh well, like is it social distanced, are you guys wearing masks, and it's like yes to those questions, but like being like having to ask those and having those restrictions kind of sucks, you know?
Yeah.
So I don't know. It was definitely one of those weird things. Like I guess we're doing this in-person performance piece, but I kind of don't feel like we should yet. But I don't think that there's any better way to like do theater. It's that weird thing of that whole thing that's going on, where like theater kind of is suffering really hard from this, because how do you go back to doing a Broadway show? You know what I mean? Like, do you?
Eventually, I hope
like,
so.
I mean, yeah, exactly. I hope so as well. But it's kind of that question of like, where does this all pan out, or where does this end up? Because I know that definitely doing it felt a little weird. Like, being finally in person performing felt weird, but like it still felt right, because that's the way like performance should be done. I don't know, like, Ozzy, how do you feel? All right, okay, we'll come back to that.
Stepped away.
Oh boy, Christian, I feel great about it. I don't know. I think that there is a performance, and it's, you know, it's coming out in new ways, and I'm now Mickey Mouse. But I think that I think that, you know, performance is great in any fashion or any shape. Well, thanks, Ozzy. Thanks for talking in from the pit here. Appreciate you coming in and talking about it.
I agree.
Yeah, definitely just a weird experience overall, but definitely a fun experience. And it was definitely fun to do something finally, even if it was in a kind of muted capacity in that sense.
Absolutely.
But I realize that it's time to shift gears a little bit. You know, we talked a little bit about this Halloweekend event. So, Swade, I want to ask you a question.
Hello?
So, the other, like 2 weeks ago now at this point, when I had our friend Victoria on the show,
right,
we talked about show ideas. So, like, if That's the Flavor was a show, and That's the Flavor also was a puppet, what shows we get to do? And I want to know, do you think it should be like an apartment roommate comedy, something along the lines of like Friends, or should it be a very serious lawyer show, or That's the Flavor puppet is a lawyer in a real world atmosphere?
Wait, hold on.
What did I miss?
That's the Flavor is the name of the show and the puppet?
Okay, well, That's the Flavor. It's more like a That's the Flavor base show. It doesn't have to be the name. And the That's the Flavor puppet is very much like, if you look at the logo of the show, it is like the entire recycling bin with like, we'll put some eyes on it and like a mouth, and like the legs are still flailing out of it. Like,
are we talking?
What?
Are we talking
sorry,
Muppet style or Sesame Street level?
I'm thinking
content?
Muppet style, like you know the food puppets, like the Swedish chefs.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I'm thinking like those. Like it's got kind of like the beady black eyes. It like opens
Muppet
halfway
movie.
for like the mouth.
I think not a serious lawyer movie, but like a lawyer comedy type thing.
Okay.
Absolutely, I feel like that could work. I don't know how, but I definitely would love to see that.
See, because I was definitely going the serious lawyer route, like give me like some Law and Order, but the main lawyer is just a puppet.
I mean, maybe.
And he's constantly fighting to feel validated in a world full of people that aren't validating him, you know? Maybe he's mixed up in some dirty crime. Like maybe he got mixed up with like a bad guy he put away. Who knows?
He's a corrupt lawyer.
He's a corrupt. Yes, that's the flavor puppet is a corrupt lawyer. Okay, so you land on lawyer comedy. All right. That's kind of in the in between section a little bit. So I respect that placement, that choice. See, how do you feel? Because I know you weren't around for that question.
Yeah, I don't know what just happened. I was like talking, and the
It
next
looks
thing
like
you know,
Ozzy might be having microphone troubles.
Interesting.
Hello, can you hear me?
Ozzy just left the call. Oh God. Hello?
Hello,
Hey, he's back. Yay!
can we hear me?
Yes,
Okay,
we can.
yes, hello. This is
Okay,
live
I'm
and on
sorry.
the air. We are fixing problems live on the air, audience. This is what happens.
I just gotta
Improv.
backtrack. I was really confused because I was like talking about the question that started, and the next thing you know, I wasn't getting any like feedback. I was like, "What?" Like I just said I was asking questions, and I was like, "Okay, whatever." And then I check, and I'm like, "Oh, where are they?" And then I join, and then I hear puppets, and I'm like, "What?"
Yes. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. Make sure we get all high train going by my house. Yay. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go ahead and get your puppet answer, and we'll double back to the performance question. So
Oh, that's all good. Okay, so what is the puppet question?
so the puppet question is: did you not hear any of it?
I just heard Swade say that you'd be a puppet comedy. That's the flavor
Okay,
would be a
so
puppet comedy.
when I had my friend Victoria on the show a couple weeks ago, we talked about like that's the flavor puppet, and like you
Okay.
put it into a show. So and the two show options were like a roommate apartment like style comedy, like sitcom, kind of like Friends or maybe like Big Bang Theory, somewhere in there, like a little
Yeah.
lighthearted, or a very serious lawyer drama similar to Law and Order, where like that's the flavor puppet is a lawyer, and like maybe he's like really fighting to be validated in a world full of non-validators, and he's mixed up in like some corrupt like cop areas and like some corrupt criminal stuff.
I can't.
Corrupt puppet.
Corrupt. That's the name of the show. Corrupt puppet. Corrupt. Oh, and the style of the puppet is like similar and as an equivalent to like the Swedish Chef. Like food options, like all the talking food. He's got like the black beady eyes. Like it opens like probably like halfway down the recycling bin for like a mouth. Wears a suit.
Oh no.
Oh no. The
Ozzy,
microphone
no.
again. Ozzy, no. Ozzy. Ozzy, come back to us.
Guess we
Ozzy,
gotta
please leave the
improv his
call and come
line.
back. He's coming back, audience. Don't worry. We're rolling with the show today. We're rolling. Ozzy. Oh God. Half this episode just gonna be like audio troubles, and I'm okay with that.
Ozzy.
It leaves again.
Hello.
And he's back. There he
Hello.
is.
Hey.
Hello.
Am I heard?
Yes.
You are.
All right. So give us the quick before something happens. Give us the puppet answer. Quick.
All right. So the puppet answer. All I can think about is that movie with Melissa McCarthy. It was like Happy Time Murders, I think.
Ah.
And that's all I picture. It's just this like fish.
Oh no.
Oh
Cut him
no,
off
Ozzy!
mid-sentence.
Oh no.
Oh wait,
You're
there
back.
we
You're
can
back.
hear
You're
you.
back. You're back. You're back.
Hello. So, what did we hear? What did we hear?
All I heard was fish, and then it cut off.
Okay.
Talking about Happy Time Murders.
Yes, okay. I just picture Happy Time Murders. I've never seen it, but Melissa McCarthy is there. And
Right.
she is like beside the fish, and the fish is just bitch slapping a whole bunch of people.
Okay.
That is what I picture.
Now, I will say that I think I could definitely go for that atmosphere, but the quality is definitely going to be better. Like I'm talking high budget production here.
Oh, really? I was definitely picturing like home movie kind of budget.
Oh, okay, okay.
Like,
$30 million.
like shot with an iPhone kind of thing.
I was thinking like the same. Like I was thinking like $20 million. I figure if Warner Brothers can give like Zack Snyder like the $20 million to finish the Justice League movie that came out however long ago, then they could also toss someone like me $20 million to make a puppet movie.
Yeah. Well, this puppet movie could be like, it could be a trilogy, but each movie is a completely like different style of film.
Oh,
Was
And
interesting.
it's like, find its meaning, its like life. So then that's like why like the first one would be like corrupt puppet, and then like the last one would be like puppet roommate, or it could be the second one. I don't know.
Now hear me out. What if it's, first movie is he's in this roommate. He's in this like roommate apartment scenario, and he's finishing up law school. And he gets like his first big case, and his case lands him in a corrupt scenario. And the second movie is him swimming in this corruption, trying to get out of it, maybe figure out the best way. And then, at the end of that movie, he gets out of it. And that third movie is kind of his redemption arc. He's kind of lost his credit, and no one really trusts him or believes in him. And then he brings it back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just also got an idea from this trilogy. I think you could make a welfare, like that's the flavor, like multiverse, and,
cinematic universe.
Yeah, like a cinematic universe. But it's
Dear God.
Fish.
Well, to be fair, that is something we talked about, where it's what if there is a cinematic universe, but the cinematic universe is just different versions of That's the Flavor puppet. So like you have like the lawyer version, and you have the version that just stayed corrupt. You have the version that never actually finished law school because he was like, this is a waste of money. You have, you know what I mean? Like you have those different versions and they come together, and it's like maybe they fight off like sadness. I don't know.
No, what if they fight off like mega fish? Like it's the most corrupt fish of them all.
Fair point.
Like, that could be pretty like deep. You fight yourself to be the
fish
you want to be.
Oh, okay. Some meta stuff right there. So I like it.
Try.
Now, you know what I've thought about? How logistical is it to build a giant slappy hand?
I would say, look at what did Jackass do it?
Yeah, they did. I think it was a paper mache hand.
Yeah, they like built it on the other side of a doorway, and people walking through just got absolutely laid out by that damn hand.
Oh yeah. I'm thinking like like the stretchy ones, like you'll fling and like they'll stick onto things, like a sticky hand. Yeah, I'm thinking like what's the logistics on building a big one of those?
I feel like someone has, but the logistics you'd probably need obviously a ton of material of whatever the hell that thing's made of.
Yeah, probably Jello.
Yeah.
Could it be done? I'm assuming yes.
Probably.
Yeah, I assume it's just a lot of Jello.
Giant sticky stretchy hand.
What is that material? I know it's not Jello.
Rubber and tape and glue.
Tape.
Tape?
Yeah.
It's just surrounded with Scotch tape.
Exactly. You want like a poor man's sticky hand? You get like a rubber band and you put some tape donuts on the end.
Oh my god.
All right.
I mean, like, yeah. Okay, Google. What are the materials to make a sticky hand?
So the sticky hand is low budget, but the cinematic universe is like tons and tons of money, right?
Oh, of course. All right. Chemistry in a toy store. This is from chemist.com. It may be composed of an isoprene polymer, a synthetic rubber, styrene butadiene copolymer, or a polystyrene butylene ethylene copolymer, along with tachyphers and coloring materials.
Lean.
Okay, well, what color are we making this giant flappy
Lots
hand?
of lean.
Well, I pictured, because he's so obsessed with this hand now, that we put that hand into our cinematic universe. What if we have it rain down from the skies and they just start grabbing people off the street?
Oh my god, that's terrifying. It's like the Hook episode from SpongeBob.
Yeah.
It's just stretchy hands.
Oh god, we could go so dark with this.
Yeah, that could be the most corrupt fish's main weapon.
He's just got an army of stretchy hands.
Fires the blue beam up into the sky, and just the stretchy hands start falling.
Oh my god. It's terrifying.
We've got a movie.
Okay, so I don't know what it is. All I'm saying is we gotta land a trademark on that real quick. I think I know what I'm doing for my for a project next semester. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Hell yeah.
Going out for bang, got to trademark that bad boy. But so yeah, I think that could definitely work. I think that we'd probably cast someone like Jonah Hill to play me in a cameo.
Makes sense. Makes sense.
To play you in a cameo?
Yes.
Would you just cameo yourself? What?
Actually, I take it back. We're gonna...
Just walking up to Jonah Hill. Here's $1 million. I want you to walk onto that screen for 1 second
And say
and
your
then
name
get
is
off.
Christian.
No, the cameo is gonna be of both me and Ozzy. But we're not gonna cameo. We're not gonna do it ourselves. We're gonna hire Jonah Hill and Michael Cera to do it for us.
I think you're more of a Michael Cera.
Yeah.
No,
If
I know.
anything.
That's what I'm switching. I'm switching it.
Okay.
So Michael Cera would be cameoing me, and then Jonah Hill would cameo you.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, and even though they're like super old now, we'd like dress them up like us. They could like be in their 20s.
Well, see, Michael Cera still looks like he's a teenager, so
Yeah, it's fine. We can work with that.
So you're gonna make the entire movie for like $1 million, and then spend the other 29 million just hiring them for the cameo.
Yes, exactly. And then Suede, you can cameo yourself.
Oh, okay, thank God. I don't think anyone looks like
so the
me.
credits look like Christian Slider, played by Michael Cera. Ozzy, played by Jonah Hill. Suede, played by Suede.
In order of most paid.
Oh.
God.
Jonah Hill's at the top of the cast list, even though he's only on the screen for 3 seconds, because the order is just my payment. And then, of course, that's the flavor puppet played by me.
Right.
Well, here's the thing: voiced by me, but I think played by Victoria. I think I need someone with puppet skill to operate the puppet.
Okay.
I mean, I like it. I like spending people's money.
Yeah, I think we hire someone. I don't know. I feel like it's got to be someone like a good go-to, like probably Christian Bale to play the roommate. I feel like he can really get into like that character, like he's an extremely good like in character actor, and he can really get into the roles he's playing. I think he could play the role of like stoner apartment roommate pretty well.
Who's directing it? Quentin Tarantino?
Don't tempt me.
Well, I think you should get Michael Bay to co-direct it.
So it's just an apartment comedy, and then outside the window you just see explosions, but they're never answered as to what they're from.
Exactly.
You just see a building get blown up, and it's like, "Hey Jerry, what do you want? You want mac and cheese or you want ramen?" Like,
except you can't hear any of that dialogue over the explosions outside.
This movie is chaos, and I love it. Jesus.
Would you want anything more for your that's the flavor?
Your magnum opus.
I'm just thinking about like when they want to do a musical adaptation of this movie, how hard it's gonna be.
Oh, so who's gonna write the music?
I'm gonna do like a SpongeBob the musical type scenario, and like it's gonna be written by like tons of people.
Oh, okay.
You know how well that worked for the show.
It took 7 writers to make this song.
Bro, like SpongeBob musical did this thing of like every song was just written by somebody else. So like when it came together, like, oh man, every song was written by like one of them was written by the Plain White Tees, and then someone like another one was written by like so and so, like Panic! At the Disco, I think. And I think I'm just gonna do that scenario because that strategy worked extremely well for SpongeBob the musical. I think that it's gonna work here.
Yeah.
And I feel like I'll write a song as well, just for fun.
It's gonna work here with this equally as well-known piece of entertainment. Everyone knows this.
Well, to be fair, I was throwing a dig at SpongeBob the musical because it did not stay open long. So
I wonder why.
To be fair, pause this conversation and this shade I'm throwing. I love SpongeBob the musical like a lot. So it's a good bop. I'm sorry to the SpongeBob the musical gods. I love you. Please don't smite me. But back to our slander. So I think that's probably the scenario. Then the question is, who do I get to do the choreography?
Mm.
Plus, what kind of
I think
style, you know?
you need to get who was the choreographer of High School Musical? Kenny Ortega.
Oh my god.
That's who you need to get.
We're all in this
Yes.
together.
No, that's just it. We start ripping songs from other shows, so that's the flavor. But it's just all of a sudden, like it's the Act One finale is all in this together. Like if the Act Two finale is like this is the moment from like Jekyll and Hyde, I think it is. I don't know.
The entire movie is just homages that are just straight rip-offs.
Exactly. The opening is one day more from Les Mis.
God.
One day more.
We need Russell Crowe then.
Well, here's what I'm thinking. Yes, we do. That's just it. The entire show is just finales. That's what it really comes down to. The entire show is just back to back to back finales of musicals.
Oh god.
So that way, that way, like the hype never goes down. Everyone's just always on the edge of their seats.
And in the slight space between the musical numbers, we have ending climactic scenes from like popular movies.
Oh yeah. You go to like 7, and it's just like one of the characters just screaming, "What's in the box?" Like, and then it cuts away, and it's like, "Oh man, time for the Act One finale from Waitress. Here you go."
No, I think
I want the show to be so extravagant and hype filled that like there's a risk of heart attack. You know, you just like look out in the audience, and some guy in the 5th row is like going into cardiac arrest. Like that's the experience I want.
And then after that one, he just finds like a gauntlet on the road, and he's like, "I am Iron Man." And he snaps. It's like, and then it's the number from Hairspray.
Exactly.
Can it be, but not the finale of Hairspray? Can it be just like Mama, Welcome to the '60s?
We start running out of really good finales, so it's just we start choosing random songs that are like really hype and like really like. But that's the one song where it's like, hey, you know, we're just hanging out. Here's the chill moment. And here's the thing: there's no intermission. It's the same musical. So we got to throw in like one pretty meh song for like people to have a chance to like maybe chill out a little bit. Like a pseudo intermission.
It's like, thank God we don't have to be 100% hype for like 5 minutes.
I can bring it down to a 90 at least. Dear God, my heart.
Oh God.
Like, the show is going to be the equivalent to drinking 2 5-hour energies.
How long is the show?
Just 2.5 hours. Same musical size.
Oh, only. Oh, thank God.
We're going to condense. We're going to take a 10-hour energy and condense it into 2.5 hours. That's kind of what's happening. Dear God. I think I just found out the title for this episode. It's going to be "That's the Flavor," the movie, the musical.
The movie.
The movie. The musical. It's going to be "That's the Flavor, the movie, the musical."
And then nothing else.
Oh, man. Jeez. No, and before we continue on with the episode, how about a word from our sponsor? And we are back. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Hope you enjoyed that ad, as I know you guys always do, because who doesn't love ads, right? Wink
Yeah,
into
what
the
a great
camera.
ad.
Yeah, wink into the camera.
That's
Shut up,
really
Slade. Don't break the facade. For all they know, I do record the ads as we do this.
I think I'm gonna buy that product, whatever it is.
You just outed yourself.
Lux soap.
Anything safe in Lux is safe in water.
Water. What a great ad. I love Lux soap so much. Well, yeah, I don't know where to go right now. I feel like there's so many options. We can continue on talking about movies, but I feel like we've kind of exhausted that subject a little bit. So I want to transition. How hard do you guys think it would be to steal a panda?
Well,
I think pretty hard, as they are on the endangered species.
I was gonna say, are they still endangered?
Yeah.
Oh, because I've been, I'm a dude, and so I'll chat with the ladies. Shut up. I'll chat with the ladies. Start, getting a little out there into the world. Kind of enjoying life. And probably one of not immediate, but we'll say in like the first 5 questions I ask is, would you be willing to steal a panda with me? And voting, whoa, Christian, 5 questions in, like that's a little,
What do you mean? That's the first question. 5 questions. First question.
But because I ask him this because it's like I want to know, like, if you're like down to be adventurous, but then I've been thinking about this, like, how logistic is it to steal one? Because I feel like, yeah, it's pretty hard, but like, I feel like it could be done. I mean, if Nicolas Cage can steal the Declaration of Independence,
oh god,
I feel like I could steal a panda.
Don't you knock the cage?
I didn't knock him. I just said
I know.
if he could. I mean, to be fair, I don't feel like it's that hard to knock the cage, but if he can steal the Declaration of Independence, I feel like I could steal the panda.
I'm imagining Christian just leaning over, one arm on the table, all suave. You want to wipe a species off the map?
It's a lot more dark.
I feel like we need the same supporting cast, so like Ozzy, you'll probably have to like fill in the role of like like best friend.
The panda.
Yeah, no, not the panda. Like probably like my go-to best friend, and then Swade, you can be the love interest.
Oh, thank God! I was so worried I'd be playing a gopher that just comes out of nowhere.
Oh man, I was so worried I'd be playing the truck you drive in.
No, I really thought he was going for you would be the mole that wasn't whacked but would whack people.
Oh.
Swade's the guy. No, Swade actually is the mole. He's the guy in the panda costume in the panda enclosure to make sure, like, we got a guy on the inside. Literally, we have a guy on the inside.
You're trying to steal me in a panda costume the whole movie.
No, that's part of the confusion. Is we get there and we start to try and steal you, and you have to actually like break your cover and be like, "No, guys, it's me, and we have to be like, "Oh, okay," and then we go to the other panda.
I'm here on.
You just got like bamboo in your hand, just gnawing on it.
I'm here on assignment.
Broke my teeth trying to chew the shit.
No, that's just it. We actually exposed you. You just have to like radio in on your watch and go, "Cover's been blown. Pull me out. A jet speeds in, ladder comes down, you climb away.
Just flick you off.
Throw the bamboo at us.
Starts beeping.
What are you? Okay, how big is said bomb? Are we talking? You gotta blow up the entire zoo? Your cover's been blown, or like just the enclosure?
Turns the zoo into a sinkhole.
Oh my god! Is the people still inside? Choose your answer wisely. Oh, look, a giraffe! God. Timmy, no!
She's in there as well. Timmy, no!
No.
God, I love this show.
Alright, so I have a better idea. We make it a Netflix series. Season 1 is the corrupt lawyer. With that, it's also the roommate buddy comedy. And then season 2 is the panda.
Yes.
I guess in like, are we talking like it still follows the same guy, or like are we talking it's more of like an anthology?
Ooh, anthology, that could work.
It just picks up and it's like
an anthology.
Like I think like there could be the connection
American
of like, let's say
Story.
Exactly, but like let's say it could work the way of like season 1 ends and like maybe because he is in that corrupt scenario, him and his best buddy get like swept into like stealing a panda for a certain crime organization. It's like, how does that story play out? But it's also like, what if you don't necessarily like we finish up the corrupt cop story or the corrupt lawyer story, mind you, and then we just pick up in the next season and it's a brand new story. And maybe, there's some like weaving in and stuff like that. Like maybe in the background of the zoo, you see like the apartment best buddy walking by with his girlfriend or something. But like, it's not like direct tie-ins. Not yet, at least.
Yeah, no, I think that would be good because I think you could scatter some Easter eggs in it to then imply the multiverse that is there.
Yeah, you like the random explosions in the background.
Yeah.
You're walking
come
up to the zoo,
find
and down
that-
the street is a choreographed dance number happening.
Yeah, and you'll come to find that the roommate played by Christian Bale is actually the one who is in charge of all of the explosions or something,
Oh my god.
or it's the panda.
And what does this crime boss want with the panda? He's like, you go up to him, and it's like, what do you need a panda for? My daughter wants a panda. What do you?
That's basically what it is.
He takes the bamboo, starts smoking it. I gotta get the panda.
Get him out of here.
That's like in like when people would used to, what am I trying to say? When like you'd want to be really cool, and so like you like light a dandelion on fire, and guys be like, guys, look at me, I'm smoking. You know?
When you put what's it called? I put like onion grass in my teeth. Have like,
Yeah,
or
you
no,
that.
straw like a farmer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For pretending to smoke.
Mhm.
I just get candy cigarettes.
Smoking is cool, kids.
All of the people do it.
Don't say that. Don't. No. Hang on.
1947.
Smoking took our great president FDR before his time.
And we still mourn the loss.
His loss.
May he rest in peace.
Try Lux Soap.
So now the title of the episode's got to be "That's the Flavor of the Movie: the musical: the show."
The Netflix series.
The Netflix series.
The anthology. There you go.
I feel like, things like musicals or crime dramas, everybody's got their own audience, right? But I feel like it's bringing those things together in a way that just, it's an everyman show. It's an every person's dream.
We appeal to everyone. We appeal
Yeah.
to no one.
Like That's the Flavor puppet has this ballad during his first court case where like he knows that, oh man, if I prove that this man is guilty, then I'm gonna get like shot by the crime boss. But if I do the right thing, I'll be a hero of the people, And it's this great stretching ballad, and then like in the background there's explosions going on, and like we see that in the audience, like in the jury, is the guy in the panda suit, like.
I want his first ballad to just be him narrating to himself as the court case happens behind him, and it ends, and he's still there narrating. Everyone's gone. The lights are off.
Janitor walks in with a bucket. Hey man, how long are you gonna be here? Oh, I don't know. Like, give me like 30 more seconds. He's like, oh, okay. Like,
damn it, I was almost done. I gotta start over.
Oh man, how long would that ballad be? Jesus. Like, are we saying the court case in the background is moving at normal speed, or like it's like just like
we could do that. That shot they do where they circle around one guy in normal time, but everything around him is time lapsed at like 4 times speed. Yeah, no, I don't know what that shot's called, but that would be
slows down for one moment, and that moment is just to watch some random guy trip. And then it speeds back up to 4 times.
This is just a bad 90s parody movie.
Part of the ballad is he goes and he says, wait, hang on, everybody. Second, pause for a second. And he pulls out a remote, rewinds it just to watch the guy trip in normal speed. And then he goes, all right, never mind, we're good. After we all had a good laugh. Speeds it back up, finishes the song.
Oh my god.
And a bad version of Click. The hit Adam Sandler movie where he has a universal remote. Yes.
With that other actor.
The bad version of Steve Buscemi.
Christopher Walker. No. Walken.
Oh wait, Christopher Walken. Never mind. So not the bad version of Steve Buscemi. I take that back. Christopher Walken, I love you. Don't slight me. No, it's Walken, isn't it?
No, I know. I said Walker the first time.
Are we the Walking Dead? We're just shouting Walker now.
Hasselhoff.
Carl Walker. But yeah, I feel like there's some good show material here. And all I'm saying is because I'm too lazy to actually look into trademarks and licensing. That if I start seeing these pop up in shows in the next couple of years, then I'll worry about it logistically. But yeah. Wade, I want to get, since you're a new guest on the show, I want to kind of wrap up and off the episode in a fun way here. I want to get your opinion on the age-old question, the age-old battle.
Oh no.
Who wins in a fight? 15 baby ducklings or Shaquille O'Neal-sized loaf of Wonder Bread?
It should be obvious.
No,
It
I've
should be
heard this
obvious. Choose
before.
your.
You said this in college. Oh god.
Don't say you said this at college. Like I brought it up and during
I
a class
did.
as part of a debate.
I literally did though.
Honestly,
know.
this should be the championship debate.
You said
debate
this
team.
in the middle of a class. I can't remember which one it was. I forget who you said it to, but it eventually made it to the entire class. We were all talking about it.
Oh no! It was in our Voice 3 class because it was the second day of the semester.
I told you.
Was oh.
So baby ducklings or Shaquille-sized Wonder Bread.
Yes, the answer should be obvious.
The problem is there's so many different questions I could ask. Like, are the ducks?
Let me. Yeah,
ducks
that's a
been
great thing. I always
starving?
forget to specify. So there is no time limit. It's in kind of a little a little boxing ring scenario. There's a 16th duckling there, but he's kind of dressed up like Adrian from not Adrian. Not Paul either. God, what's his name from Rocky? Trainer dude.
Huh?
Oh God.
Rocky. Oh.
Um.
I think I know who you're talking about, but just go on.
Yeah, he's dressed up like that guy. He's got a towel draped over his shoulder. He's got a little beanie on, and he's cheering on the other 15 ducklings, and it's just kind of like a brawl match, just kind of last thing standing.
No time limit.
The answer should be obvious.
It's definitely obvious.
And for that
Definitely
reason,
obvious.
I will say the bread.
You monster!
No!
This is the wrong team, Slade. You know what? I'm not even going to give you the dignity of explaining your answer. That's it. You're never on the show again. You chose the wrong team.
The bread. Always.
Now, this is great. I have another person to add on to my ultimate episode that I have planned that I tell every new guest, where we're going to have every single guest on the show at one time, and we're just going to debate this topic, officially. It's going to be the final debate.
Everybody knows where I stand.
You need a graphic of all of us animated against each other, just versus.
One of the fun merch ideas I can't wait to do is of this scene, and that's kind of a little teaser. It's of that whole duckling versus bread scenario. I got a really cool image in my head that I can't wait to make.
If us breadites are not riding that loaf of bread, I will be disappointed.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the ducklings for me kind of form into a magic carpet and carry me along. So I'm pretty sure we can make the bread thing happen.
Christian's standing on baby ducklings.
Baby duckling.
I mean, baby ducklings have the strength of ants, right? 50 times their body weight.
Wants to know your location.
Not sure.
Let's test that.
And on that note, before Peter tracks us down, we're gonna bring this episode of That's the Flavor to a close. God damn.
Yes, Peter.
But audience, thank you guys for hanging out this week. Swade, thank you for coming on. Ozzy, thank you for coming on as always. I appreciate you guys being the guest this week. I'm glad we can make it work because I know we had a little bit of conundrum scheduling wise, but we figured it out. Yeah, thank you guys for coming on. I hope that Swade, you enjoyed your first That's the Flavor experience, the full experience.
I absolutely did, and I would love to do it again.
It's great. I'm gonna put you on the list. You may be wondering what list. It's definitely not the guest list. It's a different one. So have fun figuring out what it is. Ozzy, I hope you enjoyed your 7th time on the show.
Yeah, it's a staple now. That's good.
Ozzy's the veteran who's just been through it. He's yeah, it's a rough life. It ain't a glamorous one, but it's what I'm here to do. Come on the show.
I just put out my cigarette as you said that.
Jesus.
It ain't much, but it's mine.
And audience, of course, thank you guys for coming along and being the guests on the 17th episode of That's the Flavor. I appreciate it. You guys are awesome. You guys' support has been great. And I've done a lot of cool things in the past week that I wouldn't have done if it wasn't for you guys. So thank you for that. And of course, things are coming soon, merch, t-shirts and stickers. They're being worked on, and I can't wait for them to be out into the world. Did you just laugh when I said stickers?
Oh, I said merch.
Oh. Okay, I thought you were laughing because I said the word stickers, and I was like, "What the hell?"
Stickers.
What? Stickers is a funny word.
Until, but until next time, I've been Christian Slider. Thank you all for joining me on this episode, and until next time, stay flavorful.